I'm Roy Reed.
Each of these 8 men
My name's Ken Collins.
My name is Joseph Robinson.
has a story to tell.
David Siebert.
My name is Alan Gunn.
They're all from Idaho Falls.
Jim Pletscher.
They all served in the military.
Bill Jensen.
James Lovejoy.
And they're all about to embark on the journey of a lifetime.
We asked you to watch over and protect us.
It all started with Roy Reed, a Korean War veteran drafted into the Navy back in 1951, just 4 days out of high school.
I got the call. I did the thing that we all do. When we get the call, we go, we serve.
Last year, Roy went on an honor flight to Washington, D.C. with dozens of veterans from Utah. He loved it so much he wanted to do something similar in our area, but learned Idaho does not have an honor flight program. So he went to Frank Vandersloot and asked if he'd like to sponsor one.
He said, yes, I would like to, but I want to do it my way. And I said, okay, that's fine. So tell me, what's your way? And he said, we'll haul you to Washington, D.C., and you tell me what you want to do when you get to Washington, D.C., and we'll take care of it.
The trip was arranged, 8 veterans were chosen, and all of them were invited to ride with Melaleuca's executive chairman to the nation's capital on the company's plane. After 3 hours in the air and a 40-degree temperature change, the group lands in Washington and is on their way to a fancy hotel on Embassy Row, where a buffet dinner is waiting.
You know, there's 45,000 guys that lost their life over there. I'm so grateful for Frank and for all of the people that support the veterans.
Vandersloot arranged to surprise each of the men with a veteran hero hat and pins specific to their branch of service.
Thank you for what you've done and your willingness to serve. These men who didn't come home, we'll never hear their stories. They had a story, every one of them. They had a story. Most of their stories will never be told.
At 91, Roy is the oldest in the group. James Lovejoy, the youngest, having served in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
And I could never give back to the military or to the country what the country has given to me, ever.
For Jim Pletscher, this trip is extra special. His nephew, 41-year-old Marine Corps Major Christopher Lucas, is one of 400,000 veterans buried at Arlington National Cemetery. It's the same place President John Kennedy is laid to rest, next to the eternal flame. And every hour here at Arlington, there's a changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Many of these vets hold back tears during the sacred ceremony. And for Jim, his dream of seeing his nephew's gravesite comes true.
I am absolutely blown away on this trip.
This was just one of many special moments for Jim. Among the 58,000 names on the 200-foot Vietnam Memorial Wall, he finds 2 classmates from the Naval Academy who lost their lives in the war.
Okay, that's him. That's it.
He traces their names with his fingers and leaves behind 2 red flowers.
Check him out.
Along this same wall, Vietnam vet Bill Jensen, who has never been here before, finds the name of Gary Smith.
And I got to touch his name. That was probably as close as a guy would like to come to trying to keep from crying in front of some tough men. I took the easy way out. I come home alive. But he give it all.
The stories are many along this wall, and at the nearby Korean War Veterans Memorial, Roy has stories of his own. 40,000 Americans died in this war, fought over 70 years ago.
A lot of old memories. And some you're excited to remember and some you're not.
While some of these veterans have been to Washington, D.C. before, their visits have never been anything like this. Not only are they getting to visit monuments and witness history, but there's a bond among this group that's like a brotherhood.
But it's been incredibly humbling to be with these guys and spend time with them.
Good bunch of guys. It's nice to be around the other veterans and the camaraderie.
That camaraderie is shared over delicious meals paid for by Melaleuca and a special celebration for Bill's 79th birthday. The group also visits the National Archives, where they're given a VIP tour and see the Constitution along with other historical documents.
It's been real educational.
Other highlights, a night tour of national monuments, a visit to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, and a thought-provoking stop at the 9/11 Pentagon Memorial, where 184 lives were lost, including Brady Howell of Sugar City.
These markers are pointed this way. The ones that were on the plane are pointed towards the building, and the ones that are pointed away from the building were in the building when hit by the plane.
After 2 days of making new friends, exploring history, and reliving memories from decades ago, it's time for this group of heroes to head home. And when they arrive in Idaho Falls, they're surprised to see a group welcoming them home.
It's lasting memories that we'll never forget. And I thank you for your friendship, all you guys.
Most of these men didn't know each other before this journey, and hardly any had ever met Vandersloot.
I just enjoyed what he's done for us.
But now they'll never forget each other. And for many, this once-in-a-lifetime Idaho Veterans Appreciation Event has changed them forever.
It's been very poignant and touching, the camaraderie we've had as fellow Idaho military veterans.
I am blessed by being on this trip. I am so humbled that I was part of this.
You're talking about being honored. It's been a joy.
The average age of the boys down there were 19 years old. A lot of those boys will never experience what I've experienced.
I've served my God. I've served my country. It was a pleasure to serve.
In Washington, D.C., I'm Nate Eaton, EastIdahoNews.com.